Beuller,
Oh, yeah.
Beuller,
Ferris.
Beuller.
If a person lives a good life and they're kind and giving, but they're just an atheist.
From the information we have in front of us in our tradition, a person could be wonderful and moral and whatever, but if they're not doing it for the sake of connecting with their creator, then they haven't connected to the creator. So I could still say they're a wonderful person and they've done great things in their life. But if they weren't interested in investing in the next world, so they didn't. And that's not mean. That's just how the person lived their life. They didn't connect to eternity while they were alive. So that's kind of where it ends for them. It's not mean. It's not punishing. It's the yield of the way that person chose to live. He chose to live. I'm going to be kind, and I'm not going to steal, and I'm not going to be violent, and I'm going to give charity because it makes me feel good, but not because I believe that there's some ultimate purpose. So for him, there is no ultimate purpose.
Why can't you have connected to Hashem without being aware?
Maybe. Who knows?
Create connection.
Those two words are very powerful words. Yeah, I agree with you. Who knows? Who knows? Nobody knows. And that's why I'll never sit in judgment of anybody, because we could walk down the street and we have no idea who's close to God and who isn't. We really don't know. We really don't know. I'm just telling you, all things being equal, that's the concept. Richard Dawkins. Anyone know who he is? Richard Dawkins is a very famous philosopher, scientist, very outspoken atheist. He makes fun of religious people from the time he wakes up in the morning till the time he goes to sleep at night. That to believe in God, you either have to be stupid or evil. But somebody conducted an interview with him. Of all people, Ben Stein. I don't know if you know who Ben Stein is. The solar system is made up of 9 planets. Mercury, remember?
Our solar system is made up of 9 planets. Mercury.
Now from Chips Ahoy.
Beuller.
Oh, yeah.
Beuller.
Ferris.
Beuller.
Beuller. Beuller. Beuller. Beuller.
There's a really great film. I recommend it. I think it's on YouTube, the whole film. It's called Expelled, No Intelligence Allowed. Expelled, No Intelligence Allowed. And it's about the controversy within the scientific community over accepting what's called the theory of intelligent design. That rather than say that life came about through naturalistic processes, random, unguided processes, that actually the evidence points in the direction of a guiding intelligent force in the creation and development of the universe and life on Earth. Ben Stein interviews Richard Dawkins in the film, okay? And he says to Richard Dawkins, what would you say if after you die, you suddenly find yourself face to face with God? What would you say?
What if after you died, you ran into God? He said, what have you been doing, Richard? I mean, what have you been doing? I've been trying to be nice to you. I gave you a multi-million-dollar paycheck over and over again with your book, and look what you did.
He says, he would basically say, Lord, if you were real, why did you make it so hard to discern that you were real?
Sir, why did you take such pains to hide yourself?
Now, the irony of the statement is that Richard Dawkins, his work is examined in the film, his whole premise is that, yes, the universe appears to be designed.
One of the main reasons why people are religious is because they're persuaded by the apparent design of living things. And that's completely destroyed by Darwin.
But the key word in that sentence is appears. The universe does carry the appearance of design. However, we can explain how that design manifests without a designer.
Darwin made it possible to be an intellectually fulfilled atheist. Before that, you could be an atheist, but it was quite difficult because you had no good explanation for why living things look so well designed. Darwin provided that.
That's Richard Dawkins' entire premise of his career, basically, is to explain away what appears to be designed by saying, look, I can explain it without God. Therefore, there's no longer any evidence for God. That's his premise, which is a ridiculous premise. Because you're going to make an excuse doesn't mean the evidence isn't there. So then he goes to say, why'd you make it so hard to discern?
Why did you take such great pains to conceal yourself and to hide away from us?
But the whole point is it's really rather obvious. You have to kind of go like this to deny it. So therefore, the person who could be a good person, but they're not going to have a connectivity with the beyond. I mean, it really seems rather they're not interested. I mean, I don't think Richard Dawkins wants to meet God at the end. You know what I mean? In other words, if a person's agnostic, that's a much more reasonable statement. I mean, agnostic means without knowledge. I don't know. That's a much more honest statement than saying I'm an atheist, meaning I have knowledge that there is no God. It's a very powerful statement. A very powerful statement. It's a nearly impossible statement to make, but people like to make it. So if a person's going to pronounce that they're an atheist,
people who say that they're an atheist are really agnostic.
Okay, that's probably true. And then maybe there's more to talk about, because every action they do, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, maybe there's a God who's looking approvingly at what I'm doing right now. But the point is that if a person makes a choice in this world not to connect to God, then that's the choice then. We could walk down the street and we have no idea who's close to God and who isn't.